There's something that happens to a lot of people that nobody really talks about. You go through something hard, a breakup, a loss, a period of your life that was just really difficult, and at some point your mind moves on. You stop thinking about it as much. You tell yourself you're over it, and on the surface, it genuinely feels like you are. But then something small happens. A song comes on that you haven't heard in years. Someone uses a particular tone of voice with you. You walk into a room that smells a certain way, and out of nowhere your heart is racing, or your chest tightens, or you feel this wave of something you can't even name and you don't know why. Your mind has no idea where that came from, but your body does. This isn't random. This isn't you being dramatic or stuck in the past. What's happening has a name, it has decades of research behind it, and understanding it might be one of the most important things you ever learn about yourself. The starting point for understanding this is the work of Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, a psychiatrist who spent over 30 years studying trauma and the body. His research, along with the work of many others in the field, established something that fundamentally changed how psychologists think about difficult experiences. The brain processes emotional memory very differently from ordinary memory, and a significant part of that processing happens below the level of conscious thought. When you go through something frightening or overwhelming, your brain doesn't store it the way it stores, say, the plot of a movie you watched last week. Ordinary memories go through a process called explicit encoding. They get filed away in the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for narrative memory, the kind you can consciously access and talk about. But when an experience is intensely emotional or threatening, a different system takes over. The amygdala, your brain's threat detection center, encodes the experience differently, storing not just what happened, but the sensory details associated with it. The sounds, the smells, the physical sensations, the emotional state your body was in at the time. And here's why that matters. Those sensory memories don't sit quietly in storage waiting to be recalled. They stay active in the nervous system. They become what researchers call implicit memories. Memories that live not in your conscious mind, but in your body's automatic responses. You don't remember them the way you remember a conversation. You feel them in your muscles, in your chest, in the way your body braces itself before you even know there's something to brace for. This is why two people can go through a similar difficult experience and come out of it very differently. It's not about how strong you are or how well you've processed things on a conscious level. It's about what your nervous system encoded and how your body learned to protect itself. Because that's exactly what these physical responses are: protection. When your body tenses up around a certain type of person, or your anxiety spikes in a particular kind of situation, it isn't misfiring. It's doing what it was trained to do. It learned at some point that this kind of thing is dangerous, and it's trying to keep you safe. The problem is that the nervous system doesn't automatically update when the danger is gone. It learned the lesson and it holds on to it, sometimes for years, because from a survival standpoint, it's better to be cautious than to assume the coast is clear. So you end up carrying physical responses to things that no longer pose a real threat. A racing heart when someone raises their voice, even if the person in front of you is perfectly safe. A shutdown feeling in situations that remind you of times when you had no control. A heaviness in your body that has no obvious cause because the cause isn't in the present. It's in something the body remembers that the mind has long since moved past. Stephen Porges, a neuroscientist who developed what's known as polyvagal theory, describes this through the lens of the autonomic nervous system, specifically the vagus nerve, which connects your brain to virtually every major organ in your body. His research shows that the nervous system is constantly scanning the environment for cues of safety or danger, a process he calls neuroception. And crucially, this scanning happens below conscious awareness. Your body is making decisions about safety before your thinking brain has even registered what's happening. This is why you can walk into a room and feel uncomfortable without knowing why, or feel immediately at ease with a stranger in a way that defies logical explanation. Your nervous system read something in the environment that your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. What this means practically is that healing from difficult experiences isn't simply a matter of understanding them intellectually. You can talk about something for years, understand it completely, forgive everyone involved, and still feel it in your body every time a reminder shows up. Because the part of you that's holding the experience isn't the part that processes language and logic. It's the part that processes sensation and survival. So what actually helps? Research in this area has moved significantly in recent years, and the clearest finding is that working with the body directly, not just the mind, is essential for shifting these stored responses. One approach that has strong research support is called somatic experiencing, developed by Dr. Peter Levine. The core idea is that traumatic stress gets stuck in the body when the natural discharge cycle, the physical completion of a stress response, is interrupted. Animals in the wild shake and tremble after a threatening experience, which is the nervous system completing its stress cycle and returning to baseline. Humans, for a variety of social and cultural reasons, often suppress these responses. Somatic experiencing works by gently completing what was left incomplete, helping the body finish the stress response it started, so the nervous system can finally move out of a state of chronic activation. Another well-researched approach is called EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, developed by psychologist Francine Shapiro. It involves processing difficult memories while engaging in bilateral sensory stimulation, typically by following moving lights or sounds with your eyes. The research behind EMDR is substantial. It's been endorsed by the World Health Organization for trauma treatment, and the leading theory for why it works is that the bilateral stimulation engages the brain's natural memory processing system, allowing implicit memories to be reprocessed and integrated in a way that reduces their physical charge. Even outside of formal therapy, research consistently shows that practices which bring attention into the body, slow breathing with extended exhales, gentle movement, spending time in nature, help regulate the autonomic nervous system over time. They're not quick fixes, but they work by giving the nervous system repeated experiences of safety, which gradually update the threat responses that older experiences put in place. What I want you to take away from this is something simple but important. If your body holds on to things that your mind has tried to release, if you find yourself reacting physically to things you thought you were over, that isn't failure. That isn't weakness. That is your nervous system doing exactly what nervous systems do. It remembered, stored, protected, and the path forward isn't to override it or argue with it or push through it. It's to give it what it never got the first time around, a genuine, felt sense that it's safe now, that the thing that happened is over, that you made it through. Your mind might already know that. The work is helping your body learn it too.